When we come back, it is Billy the Kid as we go back to Buenos Aires as he hooks up with Billalba. Will suggest, hey, that's not much of a professional record. Hey, remember as well, he just turned pro 3 short years ago. So let's go now to Buenos Aires. Billy the Kid looks to win and remain undefeated. Let's rejoin Mike Hogan and Spider Joe.
Thank you very much, Vic Router. A sweltering night in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Let's join the ring announcer for the introduction of Billy the Kid and his opponent.
De la ciudad de Toronto, Canadá, con un peso de 62 kilos, 6'2", campeón canadiense, campeón continental de las Américas, versión del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo, el invicto, Billy el Chico Irwin.
El Chico.
El Chico, new nickname.
Very nice. Billy even got a kick out of that.
They've taken 3 or 4 years to build this kid's legend up as Billy the Kid Irwin, and now he's El Chico.
Provincia de Salta, República Argentina, con un peso de 59 kilos, 700, 700, Manuel Billalba.
And there is Manuel Billalba, the man that Irwin will be fighting tonight, and a tremendous record on Billalba as well as a couple of good fights against Raul Balbi, for example. This guy has fought quite a few quality opponents. Look at the size of this ring, Spider.
That looks like it's there for a soccer event. I mean, that's a big ring, and it is. That's the biggest ring that Billy the Kid Irwin has ever fought in, and this may work to Billalba's advantage simply because he likes to move a lot more.
Well, look at Billalba go around here. He's on the bicycle already, and Irwin is going to have to cut off the ring at some point if he's going to plan and get some sort of leverage on the punches. Large reach advantage here for Billalba fighting in front of the home countryman. And one thing, Spider, again, we have not seen the knockout power of Billy Irwin in the last 3 fights. Cabato, Rodriguez, and Sanchez all hit the canvas, but none of them were knocked down.
Well, you know, Hoagie, when you move up in opposition, when these guys are much more skilled guys, he's fighting Sanchez. His last fight was a crafty fighter, smart, moves side to side, in and out. Cabato, of course, durable. Nobody had ever stopped him before. And listen to this, Billalba has never been stopped. He's been stopped once on a cut, but never been off his feet in 67 professional fights. What's that tell you?
This guy must think it's a sprint here. He's all over the place. The feet are moving a lot, and there's no way he's going to keep it up for 10 rounds here in this heat and this humidity. He's all over the place. He's going to have to go to work here and start smacking Irwin, and he tries to land the left jab there. It doesn't work. Huge reach advantage here for Billalba.
The same question's got to maybe ask about Billy the Kid Irwin, though. I mean, it's well over 100 degrees in there. Can he continue at a torrid pace through 12 rounds?
He's playing a little catch-up right here. He just can't plant the feet and get going, although he tries to work that left hook. If you have not seen Billy Irwin fight, there's the bread and butter punch right there. He loves to go to the liver with that left hook.
And every time you say that, he does it with the right hand.
Yes. Never fails.
That's right. He hits you with both hands. But getting back to Billalba for a minute, I mean, this guy has fought Raul Balbi. He beat him. The guy's ranked number 4 in the world. Lost a close decision to Fabian Tichita, who's ranked in the top 10 in the world, and only was stopped once, and that was by Claudio Martinet, and that was on a cut. Never been off his feet.
This is a tune-up fight for Billy Irwin as he gets ready for the Commonwealth Championship against David Teta in Toronto on May 2nd. But this is a very dangerous fight. He's on the road. He's fighting a guy who has some knockout power, and as we see him here, Spider, this guy's unorthodox. He's punching from all angles.
I tell you what, Billy Irwin will do anything for a vacation.
Hey, if he thinks this is a vacation, I think I'd rather spend some time on a beach with a pina colada as opposed to going in the ring against Billalba.
You never know what's going to happen, and Billalba's got a lot of things in his favor, a lot more fighting experience. He's one of these, one of these, what would you call him? Survivors.
Yeah, he's a survivor and unorthodox as we close out round number 1. You are watching Billy Irwin and Manuel Billalba right here on TSN. Knockout, he's needed that confidence, I guess, Spider, getting into his next couple of fights, especially the big one with Teta in Toronto on the 2nd of May.
That will be a war, and that's the one thing I was concerned about when I heard that they were going to take this fight in Buenos Aires. I thought, well, and then I heard, when I heard it was Billalba, I said, man, this is a tough guy. But
there's a good left by Irwin there to catch Billalba. Sorry, Spider.
A lot of confidence there, but Irwin's taking his time. He's still fighting a patient fight. I know Pat Kahn, his trainer, would like Billy to come out and be more aggressive from the opening rounds, but I think by nature, Billy the Kid Irwin is a patient, methodical, calculating fighter. He takes his time.
He studies his opponents in the ring, looks for the opening. I don't know what Billalba gave him in the first round because basically Irwin trying to play catch-up, and Billalba using this big ring to his advantage. He moves around a lot, and we'll see if Irwin can measure up and catch him. The question recently has been, can Irwin, he can knock you to the canvas, but can he put you out? And we haven't seen that lately.
Well, maybe we should check that out with you one day.
I think I'll pass on that.
Billalba, now remember, this guy is looking to survive 10 rounds and steal a decision. He's went 12 rounds 6 times and went 10 rounds about 20 times. So he knows how to go. He's in tremendous shape. He knows how to survive.
We saw an uppercut there by Irwin. He doesn't use that an awful lot, but was able to land a little bit earlier. Goes back into the ropes now. Trying to cut off the ring. We'll see him try and get the feet outside. Does it there, but Billalba scoots away along the ropes.
Look at the way he's stalking him now. I can tell you now. You watch the way Irwin's stalking him. He's trying to land that left hook. He's going to go. There he goes. He likes to go over, under, and then over with it. He likes to double up on that left hook.
We'll see if he can do that there. Again, that's the bread and butter, but he can also put you out with the right hand. There it is! Oh, we're just talking about that hook. Boom! There it was. Billalba hits the canvas. He looks like he's 100%, but that was a great knockdown by Irwin here in the second round.
Now you got to watch Billalba. Watch his eyes and look at his legs. He's bouncing, so he's fine.
He's fine, but that really caught him. We'll see now if Irwin can finish him off. And there's another right and another left. He's got him in trouble against the ropes at this point. There's some good combinations now as Irwin flailing away. Doesn't seem to be putting the legs into it though, Spider. He's throwing all upper body. There it is! Another left hook puts Billalba to the canvas.
I was just going to say that I think Irwin's just a little over anxious there. Instead of sitting down on his punches, those ones looked like shoulder punches, and then he caught him sort of on the temple.
2 knockdowns. Can he make it 3 here and finish this fight in the second round? Under 10 seconds remaining here in round number 2. It's a scheduled 10-rounder. Irwin has come to work tonight, folks.
Billalba's come to fight too. He's fighting back.
And he has survived the second round despite a couple of knockdowns, which Billy Irwin, I don't know if a 10-8 round would certainly apply here, but Billy Irwin definitely won number 2 large.
You could see it coming. He sort of gets in that stock position like he's a predator after his prey. He had that sort of his left foot. He moved to the side. You know he wanted to rip him with that one. That is his best punch.
There's Billalba. He's lucky he's got a little bit of a laugh on his face. I don't know if he'd be laughing after getting knocked down twice in the same round by Billy Irwin. We'll take a look at the first knockdown here. This is the more sharp of the 2. Boom. Short. It's like 8 inches. That's all he needs.
That's what they say about the Brown Bomber. He could take you out from 6 inches, and I think that the Billy the Kid can do it too. Watch that left hook.
Look at that. There's just no room at all, and then boom, out of nowhere, he knocks him down. What a great punch by Irwin. Here's the second one. It's a looping left. As we can see, it's almost all upper body, and I don't know if he's more off balance here, Billalba, but still is knocked to the canvas with that big looping left.
And you know something? Patrick Kahn will be discussing that with him. I thought right there, if Irwin got a little more sitting position on those punches, a little more leverage, he might have taken him right out of the game.
It's round number 3 if you're just tuning in. My name is Mike Hogan along with the boxing prophet, Spider Jones. It's a scheduled 10-rounder in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Billy the Kid Irwin, who is 17-0 entering this fight as a professional with 11 knockouts, the Continental Champion of the Americas and the former IBO Lightweight Champion of the world, had to give up the title to go for the Commonwealth title. You're not allowed to be a world champ and a Commonwealth champ at the same time. Give up one to get the other, and the IBO Lightweight Championship is nice on paper. Theoretically, though, that doesn't mean a whole lot.
I think the Commonwealth title sounds a lot better to me. It's a legitimate title and carries a lot of prestige. And, of course, some of the great fights. You know the last lightweight in Canada to win a Commonwealth title?
Let's see, you're much older than I am, so
don't start. Little Arthur King, and that was back in the 40s.
Yeah.
Great fighter.
Wow. It's been that long?
It's been that long. We've had Commonwealth. Clyde Gray was a Commonwealth champion, and so was Donovan Boucher, but they were welterweights.
Very interesting. And again, if you're just tuning in, look at the size of this ring. This is a huge ring, and we'll see if that does take its toll along with the humidity in Argentina.
You know something? Remember, the last time Billy Irwin fought was at Fight Fest, and that was in January. He fought a kid named Sanchez, who's who's probably right there in the audience, good friends with Billalba, and guess what? This kid knew coming in that Billy the Kid Irwin was a good puncher. I mean, they know, come on. So they've got a bigger ring to work to his advantage, and that's what happened. He's a hometowner.
If Juan Sanchez knew 2 words in English, I think left hook might come into apply after what Irwin did to him in a tremendously entertaining fight earlier this year in Toronto. Irwin now has him in the corners. Billalba backs up, and this is where Irwin's got to finish him off. This is where he's got to get that killer instinct. He certainly has the boxing ability, Spider, and we've seen him knock down so many guys. What is it lacking about Billy right now that he's got, that allows a guy like Billalba to step out of that corner unscathed?
Well, he's an unorthodox fighter. He's on the run. It's very hard. Even the great fighters find it difficult to get a guy that's on the run. I mean, this guy's got more Jack Rabbit in him than Bugs Bunny right now. He's on the move. I mean, it's very difficult to plant yourself. Hey, I'll tell you, Billalba's fighting a smart fight.
Exactly. And you'll see him throw punches. And Billy Irwin, one of the major complaints about Irwin has been lack of upper body movement. But when he gets hit, it's usually in the glove, it's usually in the forearm. When's the last time Billy Irwin really got caught by a fighter?
Well, I'll tell you something. In all the fights I've watched him as an amateur and a professional over the past 5 or 6 years, I've never seen him come out of a fight with a lot of lacerations or cuts, maybe the odd bump. Because most of the stuff he blocks with his elbows, his shoulders.
Against the ropes. Can he finish him off here in the closing seconds of round 3? Had him on the ropes, but the time will help Senor Billalba. Very entertaining 3rd round as well, but Irwin will win this round on our scorecards as well. He's won all 3, and I gave him 10-8 in the 2nd round.
Senor Billalba, you're using a little Spanish. You know any other words?
Yeah.
Adios. It's a good fight for Billy. Remember, he's going into that May 2nd fight, and I would have to say, probably will be the stiffest test of his career, because anybody who knows the fight game knows that David Teta is a warmonger.
And they have it to 30-26 as well, and that's they did make round number 2 a 10-8 round, and that's what I have on my card as well, 30-26 after 3 rounds. And we should mention that on May 2nd, if you can't get to the fight in Toronto, if you're viewing it from outside the Toronto area, it will be available live on May 2nd on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view, and we'll be doing that fight as well. I'm looking forward to what should be a war, and we've got to see Billalba come off the ropes here a little bit better to make a fight of this Spider, and I'm sure he's got it in him.
Well, he doesn't seem to want to really mix it up with Irwin. Irwin caught him. He threw a right hand. Irwin came back with a beautiful left hook.
There was that left hook again to the body. He usually tries to get that on the outside around the liver. That one hit in the midsection. And Irwin comes out again throwing in round number 4, scheduled 10-rounder in Buenos Aires. A very humid night in Buenos Aires, and that's going to take its toll on Irwin. He better get the job done earlier. So the longer this fight progresses, the less chance of a knockout, and he's going to open himself up for a possible loss here.
You know something? He's in tremendous shape now. He's been running. Billy used to run 3 or 4 miles a day. Now he's running 5, 6, and 7 miles a day. His last 3 encounters have been 12-rounders. So you can go 12 rounds, and he's in tremendous shape. But as you say, the heat. This is debilitating. It just takes so much out of you.
Spider, we have a lot of respect for the management crew here for Billy Irwin. James Jardine, the manager. Why would they take this fight? He's got a big fight coming up on May 2nd against David Teta. He goes down into a strange environment in Argentina, a very hot, humid place. He's not used to the climate, and he's fighting. You see James Jardine there in the corner with the trainer in the foreground, Patrick Connaughton with the goatee, James Jardine, the blonde gentleman in the back. Why would they take this fight? Because this is not a gimme.
No. Well, first of all, Patrick Connaughton, or Khan, I call him Khan, is one of the finest trainers I've met in this country, and I've known him for years. And he's in the belief that a fighter has to be fighting all the time to stay sharp. He's got a big-time fight coming up, and a lot of guys just won't fight Billy the Kid. They didn't want to throw him against a stiff. They wanted him to fight a good fighter that could give him a good fight. And they had to go to South America.
It's dangerous, though, man, to take on a fight like this.
Hey, but that's what happens when you got confidence in your fighter, and he has confidence in himself. They all discussed it together. Billy the Kid Irwin also said, yeah, let's take it, let's go, and there they are.
Still looking for an opening here against Billalba. He found a couple upstairs in the second round, knocked him to the canvas twice, and seems to be trying to work the body again. Look at Irwin, how studious he is. He's just sitting there measuring up the opponent. He has always been an incredibly smart fighter, and that has helped him so much in his pro career.
Well, he's very cognizant, too, of the heat. He's not wasting a lot of energy because this guy is on the run. He's one of these kind of guys that knows how to survive, so he's just going to follow him around the ring and pick his shots. Irwin is pretty sharp in that sense. This other kid's a smart, crafty fighter. Look at him. Slips, slides.
Look how low the hands are.
But look how far away he is. As soon as Billy moves in, he brings them up and covers. This kid's got a good chin, Billalba has. Remember, never been down.
30 seconds remaining here until tonight with 2 knockdowns in the second round.
That's right. I stand to be corrected.
There, he's actually coming back with a right hand there. It did miss, but he's still throwing. There, that was a lunging. He was way off balance as he snapped off the left jab there. He's big. He's a lot taller than Irwin. That might tend to be a little awkward, but Irwin rarely fights people his own size. They're difficult to find as we come to the close of round number 4. To round number 5 of a scheduled 10-rounder here on TSN. It is Billy Irwin of Niagara Falls, Ontario, 17-0 as a professional, 11 knockouts. My name is Mike Hogan along with Spider Jones. Spider, now that Oscar De La Hoya is out of the division, he's moved up in weight class. What's left? Rafael Ruelas is on the way down.
Well, that still might not be a bad fight for Irwin, Rafael Ruelas. But you got Ivan Robinson. This is a kid that's out of Philadelphia, hasn't lost a fight. Billy probably knows him. He was on the American Olympic team. Philip Holiday, the IBF lightweight champion out of South Africa. There's Miguel Angel Gonzalez, probably the best of that lot right now. But these guys have all heard of Billy, you know, and not to stroke this kid, but listen, he's the best puncher in the lightweight division. People have heard of that, so they're sort of shying away from him.
And it's nice to see Irwin doing so well here. We have him winning all 4 rounds on my scorecard. I've got a 40-35 for Irwin over Billalba right now. Nice to see, and you'll see it in the... Oh, what was that? What was that? Did the legs just give out there at some point? He was way off balance, and you just saw Billalba hit the canvas for no apparent reason.
He's been off balance all night. It hasn't hurt him in the front past.
I know he's been running a lot, but that was like the end of a marathon there. I was going to say this has been a great night for Canada and Argentina until Greg Johnson won earlier tonight from Kitchener. No Canadian ever won a pro bout in Argentina.
Yeah, isn't that could have been a bad omen, but of course it hasn't been thus far. So Greg Johnson, a little bit of Canadian boxing history, right?
Yeah, and you'll see U.S. Traffic in the corner as well, the corporate sponsor of Billy Irwin. So it's a good night for Canadians here. Greg Johnson and the U.S. Traffic also getting a little camera time and a little recognition south of the border, way south of the border in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Irwin now going back to work with a comfortable lead. He's from Irwin's perspective now, is it dangerous to maybe think you're going to win this fight no matter what happens and just stay away from the guy? Because as you see right there, Billalba is not rolling over and playing dead. He's coming back with a few.
Well, you know, but geez, I mean, under normal circumstances, the only way Billalba could win this one, he'd have to knock him out to get a draw. I mean, that's how far behind he is now. I'm serious, he's way behind, but stranger things have happened when you're in a guy's hometown.
Mm-hmm. Although I think that there'd have to be something called into right here if Billy Irwin will lose this on the judges' card. So Billalba looking for the knockout, although it's still a long time to go. We're not even through half of the fight yet. This is round 5 of the scheduled 10 as Irwin comes back with a pretty good left hook.
Billy's landing some shots. I'm wondering now how concerned he is or how much fatigue is set in or what's happening, because as we keep reiterating, it is so hot in the arena.
And a big ring as well, so Irwin has been on the bicycle trying to catch a guy who's been running more than throwing in this fight. It's a 5th round of a scheduled 10-rounder. It's the last few seconds. Along with Spider Jones, my name is Mike Hogan. You're watching Billy Irwin and Manuel Billalba right here on TSN.
Boxing Club here in Toronto. Patrick Connaughton is the trainer for Billy Irwin. Well, you have him down twice in the second round. Would you have thought that by this point, 5 rounds in, you would have been all through?
We would have hoped to be all through, but he's a very stubborn fighter, and he hung in there.
All right, so what are you telling Billy at this point?
I'm telling him to keep the pressure on, create opportunities, take advantage of them, and get him out of there.
Every fight, I suspect, is a grooming fight for Billy Irwin. So what are you looking to pick up now in Buenos Aires?
We're looking to pick up some international experience. It's a training fight. It's a fight where he can learn and we can evaluate his performance and and move on to the Commonwealth title fight.
All right, let's go back now to Buenos Aires and Billy the Kid.
Thanks, Vic Rounder. My name is Mike Hogan, along with the boxing prophet Spider Jones. It never ceases to amaze me whenever I see Patrick Connaughton outside the ring, how quiet a demeanor he has. You put him in the corner of a boxer, Spider, and this man goes nuts. He's an absolute Jekyll and Hyde in there.
Well, there's a method to that madness. Pat Conn, a very astute boxing trainer and mentor, and he wants to win. He's got a competitive spirit, and he demands that his fighters have the same thing. I've seen him screaming and yelling at him, and he's soft-spoken the next minute.
Hey, we've seen Billy Irwin go the distance in the last 3 fights. What has happened to the knockout power here? Has he lost it?
We'll see tonight. It all depends. I mean, his last 3 fights had these guys down, couldn't finish them off, but that doesn't mean he hasn't got the power. If he can knock these guys out, maybe he just got to get inside and throw a few more punches when he's got these guys hurt.
With this humidity and with this being a strange climate for Billy Irwin, you would think that he'd have to get the knockout, because now at this point of the fight, maybe things start going the way of Manuel Billalba. He's in there. He's used to this. He's on the horse. He's tired Irwin out to a degree by the amount of movement he's had in this oversized ring. Irwin had better catch him soon.
The only problem is, when you go for a knockout, sometimes you leave yourself exposed to a knockout, and as we said, it is well over 100 degrees in there. It's taken a lot out of both of these fighters, and you're more volatile to being knocked out when you're fatigued. So yeah, let's just hope he can see he's still got it. We're going to see tonight if he has.
Okay, as we continue here, round 6 of a scheduled 10-rounder, and on our cards, we have Irwin substantially in front. He has won easily all 5 rounds. We gave him a 10-8 round, as did the scorers, as we are picking up the video feed here tonight from Argentinian television. They come up occasionally with the scores and the way that they have judged the fight, and they also gave round number 2 10-8 to Irwin because of the 2 knockdowns.
Irwin's really trying to stalk him now as though he hurt us, but he's picking it up now. He just threw a couple nice combinations over in the corner I should say, but he's got to sit down on those punches more.
All upper body for the most part. And what have you seen defensively out of Irwin tonight? Is he moving the upper body as much as you'd like to see?
Well, it's a lot better than it was. He still has to work in that area, but I saw some good head movement when he slid one way and then came back with a good right hand. So he's showing much more, and I've noticed one thing. He's dipped the knees a few more times than he has in past fights.
A little under a minute remaining now in round number 6 as Billy Irwin, the pride of Niagara Falls, Ontario, 136-11 as an amateur, 17-0 with 11 knockouts, but as we mentioned in this round, we haven't seen a knockout in the last 3 fights, although he has put each of his opponents to the canvas.
I'd get this guy in the corner now, I'd sit down on my punches, and I'd go after him. You don't want to gamble. They're gambling now. They got the big fight made.
Oh, there's a big right hand by Irwin. That's what we needed to see, Spider. We needed to see that power, and he snapped back the head there with a pretty good right hand.
This guy's got a good chin. Remember, as I said, many a time he has never been off his feet, only stopped once on a cut. Now, this is a big fight. This is a gamble Irwin is taking. He's got to beat this guy. They got the big fight here, May the 2nd against Teta. He can't afford to lose, even if it's under decision.
And as round 6 comes to a close, we'll take a break right here on TSN. TSN's coverage of this lightweight bout between Billy the Kid Irwin from Niagara Falls and Manuel Billalba. It is in Buenos Aires, Argentina. My name is Mike Hogan, along with the boxing prophet Spider Jones, and we see Billy Irwin now in the center of the ring. Somebody who has to get that knockout punch down. He's got to get this done because he's getting very tired here. It's very obvious, Spider. He's getting tired as he backs up Billalba against the ropes here in round 7.
He threw a couple good left hooks there, but he didn't work the right hand at all. Billalba's using this ring to his credit. I mean, he's using this big, huge ring to his credit. He's moving this way, back that way, just for the most part staying out of range. And Irwin's stalking him. He's got to sit down on those punches.
Billalba punches his way into the corner. He's got a huge reach advantage, tries to land the jab there and doesn't. Irwin comes in with a left and a right. The uppercut missed, but the right overhand did not. And once again into the corner, trying to find his way out as Billalba. Irwin's done a much better job cutting off the rope. Cutting off the ring. We've seen that as he's kept Billalba in the corner, as he does right there by sliding over to the right.
By the way, Billalba's wearing the 7-ounce gloves, and then Billy the Kid Irwin's wearing the 8-ounce gloves. That might give a little better punching power advantage to Billalba.
Irwin with a right. And he's been told there by the referee to get the gloves up. There's a big overhand right by Irwin that scores. Let's see if he can finish him off here in round number 7. He's got him. He's not given much to the head there. We can see if he can work the middle of the upper body there. The breadbasket was open for a couple of seconds there. Irwin lets him get away, but lands another right uppercut. He's thrown a lot of uppercuts tonight, Spider. We haven't seen that a lot.
And you know, another thing too, he's really starting to put on some pressure now. Irwin's it appears as though he's getting he wants to get this thing over with. He's starting to stay on him and whipping shots back, and Billalba's fighting back a bit himself now.
Back on the balls of his feet. He seems a little less tired than he was in round number 6, maybe taking that round off, so to speak. A lot of times you'll see a fighter do that, where he'll go back and maybe take a breather for a round. I still think he won that round, and there's another nice left hook by Billy Irwin. Not a big scoring as far as I don't think Billalba felt that very much is what I'm trying to say, but he certainly did score. There's another one by Irwin.
Well, the first one he rode. This one he didn't. Caught him flush on the chin. This kid's got a good chin. But Irwin's lost a little steam out of his punches by now, and that's understandable.
Less than a minute now remaining in round number 6. Round number 7, check that. There you see on your screen, 26 seconds remaining. Irwin has done very well at the end of each round, and he goes in there with a pretty good right hand. Another good left hand there, and he comes back with the right to follow it up. A couple of times we've seen near the end of the round Billalba get in serious trouble. Irwin's been great in the last few seconds.
You wonder, though, is it a mental thing? Is he just trying to preserve something for that moment?
Oh, another big left hand just misses. It looks like Billalba will survive round number 7. Can he survive round 8? We'll find out next on TSN. Going to win this fight if it goes to the scores cards. Spider, it's very dangerous fighting a desperate fighter.
Well, maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe he perhaps thinks that I can come on in these last few rounds, win this fight. I'll let this guy, blow it all on me in these last 8 rounds, and then it's my turn to take over. Who knows? But Irwin's back on him again.
And he's coming in with another big left hand that scores and knocks Billalba back into the corner. There's another quick left uppercut and another quick left hand that lands to the face of Billalba. Irwin now trying to finish this thing off here in round number 8 of a scheduled 10. And now lets him get off the hook to a degree as he goes back into the middle, and he'll try it again.
Give Billalba credit, though. This guy knows how to fight the ropes, too. Look at him. He's not just surviving. He leans on the ropes, hits to the body, moves to the side, and gets out of there.
Snapped off a pretty good left. That might have landed. It might not have. He's still throwing. This is very difficult for Irwin because Billalba's throwing from all kinds of angles, and I don't think Billy's seen this before. There's a very good left hand that's scored by Irwin.
Irwin landed a nice combination. Came up, hit him with a left hook and then a right hand.
Billalba, looks like the legs are just about done. Can Irwin finish him off here? I don't know. He seems to not want to go down. He hadn't gone down before tonight, and he's hit the canvas twice.
How can you knock a guy down when he's leaning on the ropes like that? He's practically sitting on them. But that's a smart move. Preserves the legs a bit.
Irwin now is going. Now see Billalba comes right back and hits Irwin in the head a couple of times with a couple of rights and lefts.
This guy's in his hometown in front of all these people. This is being televised in front of 3 million people.
Oh, big right hand by Irwin. And as you mentioned, 3 million people watching this in Argentina, and obviously the crowd here on TSN tonight. Irwin now backs him into the corner. Can he get him again? We'll find out. It's late in the round. Irwin seems to be able to score, and he lands a couple of rights there, and you can see Billalba's mouth opening a little bit. He's getting very tired at this point. He goes back into the corner. Wailing away is Irwin. Billalba against the ropes and now being warned for a headbutt is Billy Irwin by the official. Back into the corner goes Irwin. Billalba back up against the ropes. Here comes Irwin. He's looking for that opening. There's a left hook that actually gets through. Another left hook to the body. It's the closing seconds of round number 8 here. A right by Irwin. Let's see if he can finish him off. There's another left as Billalba comes out with a couple of punches to fight his way out of the corner. Irwin's done very effective work when he's got Billalba into the corner. We'll see if he can do it again. 20 seconds remaining now in round number 8. It's a scheduled 10-rounder. Irwin looking for that big opening, and there he throws a left that misses. We'll see if he can do anything here in the last couple of seconds. Closing seconds of the round here on TSN. Round number 8. Irwin throws a left bomb that connects. It looks like it could be Buenas noches, Senor Billalba.
Well, he made a mistake of trying to mix it up with Irwin. First of all, when he had him in the
he's not
corner
getting
there.
up. He's not getting up.
No
way. He's done. Billy Irwin has knocked him out. We were wondering if the knockout power was there. Make it a dirty dozen for Billy Irwin. 12 knockouts in 18 fights. What a beauty by Irwin. Where did that one come from?
Well, Billalba made a lot of mistakes in there. And first of all, he tried to mix with this guy. You mix with a good puncher, you're going to get hurt.
Holy smokes. We have seen that left power before, but left hook power before, but had not been evident lately. Oh boy, you've got to be concerned if you look at Billalba at this point. He's out. You can see the eyes moving, which is good. No, that's always positive to see the guy move in the corner, trying to get some coldness there as a damp towel is applied. But boy, did Irwin ever impress with that left.
Well, you know, he backed him into the corner. First of all, in the corner, he had no ropes to help him to lean on. He was backed in the corner, and Irwin was just ripping him. He had nowhere to go, and he stunned him there, and then he come off the ropes and then off the corner and back in, and that's when he caught him.
A happy manager, James Jardine, pours some water into his fighter. This was right at the end of the round, and right out of nowhere, watch the left hook. Watch the left, nothing, then boom! There it is.
But leverage in it. You notice how he sort of stepped over and ripped him with it.
We've seen a lot of upper body. There it is. Holy smoke. Great shoulder turn and boom. Down went Billalba. Oh, jeez.
Boy, that was a solid left hook.
And boy, does this ever set up a war. May the 2nd in Toronto. If you can't get to the fight, it will be live on Viewer's Choice pay-per-view. David Teta, undefeated Commonwealth champion. Billy Irwin, undefeated Continental Champion of the Americas, toe-to-toe. It will not go the distance, Spider.
Bombs away, man. These guys are both tremendous power punchers, both aggressive fighters. It's going to be one hell of a war.
We wanted to see, and there's Billy Irwin, the winner tonight, and he puts his arm around his opponent. He is now 18-0, 12 knockouts as a professional. We were hoping that, for Canadian boxing fans' sake, that the knockout power would still be there. Guess what? It is. Spider, this was a lot of fun as always. I want to thank you for working with me tonight. Let's send it back to Toronto and Vic Router.
Billy, congratulations. It was a devastating left. I don't know if he expected it coming out of the clinch like that.
I think I was wearing him down in that round. I hit him with some pretty good shots, and it was just a matter of time.
Now, had you become a little frustrated after having knocked him down twice in the second?
Yeah, I was not so much getting frustrated where I couldn't get him out of there, but the heat was getting to me. It was really slippery. The gloves were small, and I was actually getting a little tired, and I was sort of concerned, you know, because I had a couple more rounds to go. I would just, you know, I'd rather get it over with.
Right. Fighting internationally is nothing new for you, having been a amateur and Olympian. But how has it changed as a professional, you think? Or are all the same things there, like the difficulty of eating and water?
The things are the same, but in the amateurs, you were a little more looked after as a team. When we went as, you know, myself and Greg, we weren't treated very special when we were there. We were just other fighters who just happened to be there, and, you know, we were like roughened in a way.
Now comes the Commonwealth Championship fight on May the 2nd against Ghana's David Teta. That's the first step, I suspect?
Yeah, that'll be a big step. He's a tough fighter. He comes throwing bombs. He has a good 9 knockouts, I believe. It's going to be a war.
And you carry in an undefeated record now, 18-0. Congratulations. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you wearing that Commonwealth belt.
Thank you very much.
All the best to Billy the Kid Irwin. And now on behalf of Billy, Spider Jones, Mike Hogan, and our entire crew, I'm Vic Router. Thanks for joining us. Billy the Kid Irwin goes for the Commonwealth title on May 2nd. Tonight's card of boxing on TSN has been brought to you by...
Delightful guy, a good boxer who had a very tough night tonight. Louis, it looked like you got things going in the middle rounds there, and you were throwing combinations and doing well. Were you shocked when that left hook came from nowhere?
Yeah, you know, them are the ones that knock you on your butt, the ones you don't see, and I didn't see it.